It's been a little bit of a while, but it's not so bad, I hope. Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Ekamac, this is Pokemon Violet. I've recorded the entirety of On the Mouse and uploaded and scheduled it, so this is probably going to be going up next month. But oh well. In the last episode we did actually get our hands on a badge, and I suppose technically I should be looking for more badges, but I just want to do a tiny bit of grinding, mainly because I have thoughts. I do have thoughts, and I need some time to get them out. Mainly Nikke, because yes, I need to share that video of Snow White taking on a vending machine. I've seen the entire event. It is a crossover event with Stellar Blade, and here's the thing. I'm beginning to feel like I don't think crossover events are very good for Gacha. Sure, it's a nice way to get a temporary tiny boost to your number of players and pools and all that, but here's the thing. They aren't always that important. Because it's temporary stuff, they won't be able to do it that much. So here's the thing. Whenever you have a crossover collab event, it's always limited time. So if you don't get your characters or your whatevers in that time, then it's not going to be coming back. Except for that one time it did, but that doesn't count. This gives you a strong sense of fear of missing out. It's called FOMO, F-O-M-O, and I don't like it. See, the thing is that it's not just enough that you get the character, because a lot of the gacha games have it getting stronger tied to getting duplicates. Because they've got a lot of it getting stronger tied to duplicates, you have to pull many times on that character if you don't want them to be garbage. And that's kind of dumb. Yeah, they won't be competitive, I guess is the best way to put it. But also the fact that it's limited means that the stories tied to these events, they need to be... The story tied to the events tends to be not substantial, it's not important stuff. And they just can't help but think that you can't win. Either it's important story you're never going to get to see again, it might have important character development in it, or it's going to be pointless interactions because they aren't going to be canon and it's going to get happening when you get to the end of it. You can't win. And the reason I'm thinking about this is that, so, Nikke. There's a character that's always given to you for free after you've spent enough time on it. She kind of has bad synergy with a lot of people, but not the important point right now. She is a she is a part of the Triangle Squad, who are Nikkes who are officially not Nikkes, so they can do a lot of government busy work, including ordering around other squadrons of Nikke, because you can't have a Nikke commander. That would be silly. And she is very loyal to the central government and to the... I can't ever remember his name, but he's kind of an important central government figure on the same level as Anderson. He's very important in the Modernia arc, and he's also semi-being blackmailed by Dorothy in where I'm up to in the current story, because Dorothy has his favorite Nikke Papillion. So yeah, Dorothy's thing is that she has perhaps a little bit too much faith in the central government. And the thing is, with the Stellar Blade collab, they actually point out, hey, this actually our situations actually sound pretty similar with the post-apocalyptic Gacha hole system run by a specific central authority figure. And you've got Privateer and the engineer for the Stellar Blade guys. And they both mention how they have unwavering faith in who they're working for. But then you've also got Eleg, who actually knows the secret of the Ark. And she points out, you really shouldn't have just question nothing. You could probably apply Chiaki's line of belief without faith is just a lie. And the thing is that after all that, the end of part 1, you actually find a human on the surface. A very old man, but he is there. Privity goes back and she sends out a message to the central government saying, hey, we found a survivor, we really should preserve him. And they send back a very long and involved list of reasons why they shouldn't bring him back and how he should not be rescued. It's very dark, but also not that surprising for the central government, if we're being honest. I'm just so sick of research. Help distract me so I can forget about my work for a while. You are challenged by Roberto the scientist. He sent out a Jolteon. Ooh. Oh, poor guy. I'm not entirely sure why I have Lizzie when I'm training up for an Ice-type gym. That sounds kind of silly. But yeah, and the commander points out in exchange, that's actually dumb. We are going to be saving Herman here. Because the thing is, the story behind Herman is that he was part of a group of artists that stood up against the Raptures, and the forces of humanity did initially help them out because it was good PR, but then they kind of abandoned them. Because the central government is awful. Like, the Ark is basically cutting off everything else so that only the chosen few can survive. Although the artists did actually have a good vault, a protective bunker that they could hide out in and keep a lot of the art safe. And then there's this thing where a child is born in their midst, who is named Art. She has this bond with the cargo robot that works there. It's very nice and it unfortunately ends badly, but... Hang on, Dragon Claw... Yeah, Dragon Claw is definitely better than Breaking Swipe. Lizzie forgot Breaking Swipe, it learned Dragon Claw instead! But there is actually a point where you wonder, wait, is Privity actually going to go all in for the central government and kill this poor old man who's already been through so freaking much? What is your training method? What do you feed your team? Other moves from TMs? I just do whatever. And she goes up and they end that event with her walking up to him and showing him what's in her hands, and then she's going to use the next event, she reveals that she's going to use her authority to get him back to the Ark safely. And while he doesn't, and the guy does not trust the central government and the Ark at all because of how they abandoned, Privity asks that she be given the chance to show him what was... hang on. Is that another freaking shiny Sneasel? Darn it, I think it is. Okay, what would be the Pokemon that I want to bring in so I don't accidentally kill it? Yep, it's another shiny Sneasel. And I threw the Pokeball at the exact wrong guy. Do you have Snowveil? Is that it? Yeah, you do actually get Herman back to the Ark, and Privity looks after him, and after 2 weeks he dies of old age. And Privity, everyone's really sad about it. It is actually very tragic. I'm not doing it justice. But the point I'm making is that this isn't going to be brought up outside. It's not going. I don't feel like it's going to be canon, even though bringing all that artwork back along with him should have been. And it's important character development for Privity. The problem is that the story either doesn't matter at all, so you're not invested, or you're really invested, but you also know that it won't carry over because of non-canon nonsense. And the thing is that Limbus Company is also doing a crossover. Sometime in the future it's going to do a crossover with Arknights, I think? I can't honestly remember. But I'm worried that it will end up being a similar thing. Like, they obviously have a balancing system in mind. Just because you... So you can miss picking up the actual event stuff with the egos, but you don't have to worry about... you don't have to worry about it being weak because you didn't overpull at the time, because Limbus Company does have a system, but fact is, I worry that the story just won't matter. In the same way that there's no good middle ground. Because it won't be canon. I can't come up with a good name, I'm sorry. Maybe I'll think of something better later. Oh, Pokedex. I suppose to keep on the whole Gacha topic, I found out that actually Gacha communities can be pretty parasocially toxic. It's not good. Girls Frontline, I think it was. It turns out that because of a storyline that was maybe not voice directed the best way, the actual Korean community got extremely hostile towards a specific character because they thought, oh, she's cheating on us, because that's what all the gacha things are about. It's always the waifus. I can't say that they didn't have it coming, because that is how these things go. They want to make it, oh well, you're the special someone. And yet, the sheer toxicity actually driving the voice actress away from the character entirely, because it's not nice. And the thing is, they encourage this sort of attitude a lot. Yeah, I have points and I'm not doing a very good job of making them my mind. Basically what happened was that there's a time skip between Frontline 1 and Frontline 2. And during that time skip they aren't around their equivalent of commander or manager or whatever. So they're off doing their own things. And one specific character had a thing where a NPC heard her. And it said, hey, your song kind of reminds me of my mother, but they were also part of a terrorist organization. But over regretting the whole thing, so she sort of helped them get a redemption arc. It ends with a guy in prison, but she sends a recording of the song that he asked for. And apparently they took that to mean that she cheated on them and went completely off the rails for it. And you people... It's honestly kind of horrible. Especially since another Gacha community decided to throw shade at them for it, saying, wow, this is definitely the wrong way to do it, we wouldn't do something like that. And then they ended up doing something like that in themselves. Because some people are just idiots. What they actually did was have a shapeshifter pose as one of the girls for a scene, but that got such a horrendous backlash in equivalence, and honestly I can't say it... Honestly I have to say it kind of deserves those jerks. But actively inciting another group, but not the point right now. It's almost funny, if not for how horrible it is, in that they thought, okay, we just make this NPC a girl. There's no way that it could backfire if we change the NPC to a girl. Lesbians don't exist. The problem is that they already have the context, so it actually seems worse, and oh dear, that was a bad swap. Thank you for not capitalizing on my mistake. But yeah, and so they eventually just cut that story completely because they couldn't... The damage was already done. But I'm just all over the place right now thinking about it, but the point I'm making is that gachas are extremely toxic. You can have fans of them that are reasonable people, but I think of fan bases as a whole and they get way out of hand and horrible. And I don't think that Limbus Company is excluded from this. That's the important point. Because Limbus Company has had some really bad... Yeah, we are going to have to use Croc to take these guys down. Limbus Company is not exempt, even though it doesn't have that same parasocial relationship with the characters. It still has bad behavior from its, people whenever they get things like nerfs. Or even worse, that whole nonsense with the Mola Ishmael. Where they thought, they hated the fact that there was a... For a start, they didn't like this wetsuit identity because it wasn't a summer bikini. Which I think is pretty stupid because if I'm being honest, it does still look kinda sexy. But I overlook it because I'm looking at the character stats and she's good. They marched in, yelling about how there was clearly misogynistic intent, only to find out that her artwork was done by a man. So instead they went looking for someone else to pick a fight with. Some other female character, because we're already here, we're already up and angry, we need to ruin something. And yes, they found a way to do that. Complete asses. Although it's not as bad as it sounds, because apparently she's the artist that left. They had already been planning on quitting. It's just how it happened, it went badly. And then we have Ring Sang, which was a very powerful character. They wanted to nerf it, but then they got a massive backlash, and so they had to leave the numbers alone and just change how it registers for stuff. I can't really go into detail on that because I don't think you need to explain the intricacies of Limbus Company. But yeah, the director said, okay, we'll try not to do a knee-jerk reaction nerf like that ever again. But then, things got worse when the rupture status effect, Talisman Sinclair, etc., it's not nice. Honestly, I don't know why I'm mucking about. Croc's just going to solo the Ice-type gym. Why are we even caring? He's level 57! Please sign here! Couriers have a pretty passionate fan base. Maybe a niche interest, but maybe a niche interest, but we're out there. Anyway, they released a new identity that was way too powerful, especially in consideration to a specific backup character that had been kind of busted for a very long time. Plans were made for a blanket nerf to both of them, with the offers of compensation to people that already had this new character. If you have the new character, then it will give you compensation for what you spent on pulling for her. So there were people angry that their fancy new super identity was getting nerfed, but then there were also opportunists, Valeria the student. Oh man, it's another nasty looking Taurus. It's not a very long lasting Taurus, but it is one. Oh. Oh dear, poor Zorak. About to send out a Miss Magus. Let's give Sparkles her first encounter. So the backlash was so severe that they had to roll back the idea of a nerf. Which on one hand meant that the people who wanted to keep their super strong identity got to keep it, but the people who spent their stuff on pools expecting refund, expecting to get their stuff back, got really angry. I guess they missed the fine print where it was only the people who had it at the time of the announcement. But still. Give me bulk up another something. Let's throw in big guy. Mind you, the nerfs to that old identity were rolled back because he was just getting too powerful as a backseater. I wasn't happy about it, but yeah, I knew it had to be done. Doesn't change that I was still a little bit sad for such a long runner to be taken down. Oh, you're water fighting, I guess. That's actually hitting kind of hard. Please stop. But yeah, even though the Limbus Company isn't built for that sort of parasocial relationship with its characters, it still attracts pretty nasty people. Gacha are just really toxic. It makes me yearn for the days where you just pay for... You're not lost at all, are you? Don't tell me you actually wanted to come out here? It makes me miss the days where you just bought the game once, and that was it. Although I suppose that those days also had bugs that it would never leave. If you had a glitch in a game, then it would just stay in the game. Actually, now that I think about it, if I want to evolve Sparkles, I'm going to need a specific hold item. I caught Gregor, maybe off screen, maybe not off screen, but mainly because I could, because I saw Gadvar there and I thought, why not? Ghost Terra Shard. On rare occasions, these shards form when a Terra Pokemon falls in battle and its Terra Jewel shatters. So yeah, nothing I have here is what I need for evolving a Sneasel into a Weavile. Oh, good gravy. 266 Gimme Ghoul coins. How could I need more? So we can make Snowscape, but I don't think I have any Pokemon that would really... Well, I guess aside from Sneasel, wouldn't have much capitalization on it. Well, there's actually a lot of TMs now. Anyway, my point is that I do kind of miss the days when you just pay for the game once, instead of having these systems where it feels like the game is trying to leech as much money out of you as possible. If you aren't a player, you're a walking vending machine to them. Okay, that's a Psyduck. I was thinking for a moment, wait, is that another shiny? I don't know what sort of shiny it is, though. Man, I just spent the entire episode talking about gachas, didn't I? And now I'm going to throw in those animations, hopefully, if I remember, because I think they are actually a lot of fun, and they're going to be lost forever when the event ends. And that makes me kind of sad. Either way, until next time, guys, take care. I'll see you all around.
Going in. I'm a little bothered by things over here. I want to confirm something. Going in. I'm a little bothered by things over here. It's quiet and lonely. I want to confirm something. It's quiet and lonely.
May these memories shared with everyone live on.